You need a DSLR camera or a Canon camera. Specifically, I would recommend the Canon C100. You can get that camera used for about $1,400, $1,600. The reason why you want that specific camera, because it's going to give you good quality. You know, you don't want to get a cheap DSLR that, you know, a $400, $500 camera that's going to be grainy. Because at the end of the day, if you're asking people to put millions of dollars in your fund, like just subconsciously, there's a certain type of presentation that they're expecting. You know, so it makes a lot of sense just to put money into a camera. The cheapest camera that you can buy that can get you that quality is the Canon C100. You can find it on Amazon, eBay, etc. Right? Then you also want to get a lighting kit. You can find these on Amazon and eBay as well. You can get an entire photo studio lighting kit for about $70, lights and everything. And then you want to, there's a converter that I can't think of right now, but if you Google DSLR converter to live streams, you'll come up with a whole bunch of companies to where there's basically a converter that you plug your camera in, and that plugs into your computer. So that way, when you're going live on Facebook or YouTube, it will like transfer that high quality from the camera into the computer. So you don't have to use like your cell phone, because the cell phone is going to be very grainy. Right. And so that's all we did. And we just spent some days, we'll spend the entire Saturday just pre-recording different videos explaining different steps of the filing process, different steps of how we're going to analyze these deals. And then we would just release them periodically, once a week or once every couple of days. And then we would also go live like once or twice, just in case, you know, just so people can just feel that live interaction. And then we had our weekly conference calls with a company called freeconferencecall.com. So I think if you pay, I think we pay like $99 a month, and we get like a phone number, a PIN, and then they give you a capacity of how many people can call into that line. And so if I'm not mistaken, the cheapest package is like $99 a month, and you're allowed like 100 people that can call in. And so every week we just made sure that, you know, we promoted, hey, on Wednesday at 8 o'clock, call into this number, put in the PIN, and any questions you guys have, we'll answer. And we let them put us through the ringer. Like, ask us anything. If you're an accountant, if you've been in the real estate space before, you're not a beginner and you actually know something about this, ask us that question. You know, and so we did this for an entire year. It really wasn't costly as far as doing that. It was more of just the consistency, just reminding yourself and reminding everybody, hey, make sure you have a clean haircut. We're going to be recording tonight. Make sure, you know what I'm saying? So it's more just about the consistency of just making sure we're putting out this content all the time. We also archive those calls so that people who weren't able to make the call can go back and listen to them on our site. And then on YouTube, you can just type in Tulsa Real Estate Fund or Jay Morrison Academy, and you'll see all of our live videos. And, you know, you'll be able to, you can pretty much find all of those mentorship calls and discovery calls that we've had online. And so one thing that we did run into, which we didn't expect, was that initially there was a lot of pushback, I would say hate, from people that felt that we weren't qualified to do this because it was our first time.
That's what I was looking for.
We got called all the names in the book. We got called scammers. We got called fraudsters. The NFL Players Association actually put out an investor alert because we've been personally managing and coaching NFL players for years. And so they were saying good things about us because we've made a few players a lot of money. And so it was getting around. It was like, hey, if you're young and new in the league, you want to go to these guys. And so I don't know, the NFL, I think they already have their own advisors that they kind of push on to people when they get into the league. And so if we're taking business away from you, it's like, hey, so that they put out an alert saying, hey, just be careful about these guys. When they were younger, they had a few run-ins with the law. Not saying they're going to do anything wrong, but just so you know. You know, and so we had a lot of that pushback, and it was like Warren Buffett's first time making $1 billion was his first time. So because he had never done it before, does that mean he's not capable of doing it? It's going to be your first time for anything that you're doing that's new. So sometimes there is no way to prove your credibility in the new venture, but you show, okay, in everything I've done before in the past, I've done well, I've been honest, I've been transparent, and there's nobody who's worked with me that can walk away and say that they lost money or that we handled them in the wrong way. And so we were really just banking off of our reputation and knowing that we've done a lot of good. And so it was really only about 5 or 6 people. They were YouTubers that had like YouTube pages, and it was just a topic for them to talk about. But after we raised that money in 7 days and made our first acquisition and everything's going as we said it's just been crickets. So